What's up everyone? Hope you guys are doing good. In this video I'm going to be talking about why only just being motivated in calisthenics does not work. And what I mean by this is if you're just motivated in starting calisthenics, then that won't get you very far and you will most likely gonna quit. I'll get into more detail and more in depth about this. I'm gonna tell you guys this thing that you may have heard from other athletes or maybe your friends who are doing calisthenics or whatever. You may or may not have heard this before, but for me, I have heard this from my friends and like in other calisthenics communities. It's not it's not necessarily like it's not a bad thing. Like I'm sure a lot of people who want to start calisthenics said or done this thing before. What it is that someone who wants to get into calisthenics, they would say like, I want to learn the planche or just any skill. I want to start learning the handstand, and then they seem like very like motivated. They just like they're very intrigued about learning the skill is what I'm saying, and then they say it. They say all these things, but like days, weeks, months go by, and they just don't do it. They haven't started learning the skill. They haven't started researching how to do it, like what to do, what progressions and exercises to do. They just completely forgot about it. Now that is the motivation that I'm talking about. They when they said, "Oh, I want to learn the handstand or the planche or whatever," they didn't mean like. Notice how like they say, "I want, I want to learn the handstand or whatever skill," right? Now the two words, I want, that just tells you that they're motivated to learn a skill. They're not disciplined. And I'm gonna get to motivation versus discipline in a bit later in the video after I talk about this. When they say I want to learn the like this skill or whatever, this exercise, and this applies to not just calisthenics skills, but like literally in everything. Like it doesn't have to be a skill in calisthenics. It could be like any other skill really. Now when someone says like when when they're excited to learn a skill, instead of saying I want to learn this skill, they say or they think to themselves or not think to themselves only, but when they say it to other people, I need to learn this skill or I have to. Now the the two phrases I need to and I have to. Now, when they include that in like any like sentence, then that is the discipline they're talking about. And when you're disciplined, it is like almost impossible to quit, to learn like literally anything, right? Because you have that dedication, you have that drive, that inner drive to learn it. Yeah, I'm sure one of you guys like when you're like disciplined and when you learn a skill, right? Let's say you learned a muscle up, and the day you finally learn that muscle up, you feel, you feel strong, you feel proud of yourself, and it's because you had that discipline and dedication and you never give up to learn that skill. You stay consistent, and the result, you learn the skill, and the all the hard work you did paid off. So now I'm gonna get into the motivation versus the discipline. I see a lot of beginners who say like I want to like get better at calisthenics, but I just don't have the time. Now, that just whenever you hear people say that to you, that just tells you that they don't have the discipline in them, in themselves. Because if you were actually disciplined and serious and you actually gave a damn about calisthenics and you make that like your main focus and priority, then you would not let any any type of excuse, even the smallest excuse, you would not let any of those stop you. Like you would not let your job or like your schoolwork get in the way to accomplish your goals and or even your dreams really. You would not let any of that get in the way. And again, it's not this doesn't just apply to calisthenics skills. This can apply to any other skill in life. And no one in the whole world is ever too busy to get in a workout. Even if the workout is short, like 10 to 15 minutes, that is completely fine. Cause anything, even something, as long as you get some work in, it's better than nothing. So if you guys keep telling yourselves, I don't have like the time or effort because I have like homework to do or whatever to get in to fit a workout in a day. If you say like, oh, I don't have time to work out because of school. Do you have school 24 hours straight like in a day? You can just do it like either before school, like after school. But some people just don't feel like doing that. When I was in college, if I didn't feel like working out after I got home from class, I would just do the workout like super early in the morning before I left for school. 7 a.m. and then I went straight to class because then I was like, okay, so like I woke up and then immediately thought, oh, okay, today I'm gonna work out at this time. I'm gonna train this skill, and then after I got home, I would eat this. It's because I had the discipline and actually like really cared about calisthenics, and at that time, like I was starting to really like take my progress and my calisthenics journey super seriously. I might talk more about like this kind of stuff in the future. I'll make sure you guys stay safe out there and see you guys later.